Ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys? I think today I should really start this video by telling you that you should subscribe to the channel, like the videos. I thought that you guys are grown-ups and you're using common sense. I'm not gonna insult you, but guys, you're not subscribing, man. Come on. So today I have to tell you that you have to subscribe to the channel and at least, share your thoughts about these topics that I do talk about. It really helps. Okay, it really helps. When most of the time after I start these videos, I just keep talking and I forget to tell you that subscribing to the channel is important. So today I have to tell you that. So guys, today it's going to be another political video. It's not going to be I'm going to show you a little bit of progress here at home. We made a little bit of progress. You can see the maize is really coming up very good. Look at that. And I'm going to show you other things, other crops, definitely, but it's going to be very, very political. I'm going to say things that are politically, that are political in nature. So if you don't like political content, if you don't like political conversations, maybe you should really, you should just skip this video and go find something else that might entertain you better. But today I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I've been what do I want to say? I've been keenly following back here in the political arena, in the political landscape, especially in the African political landscape and the Western political landscape. Okay, so guys, okay, I didn't even know that we had planted these. This is I think this is a soya farm. Yeah, these are soyas. So I didn't even know that we had planted these things. So today in the morning, I was making some laps, just walking around, and then wow, I saw these guys, and I think there's a very big difference between these. You see these, I think these are a different variety of soya. This soya and this soya are two different varieties. This soya look at the leaves. I don't know if my camera is showing the right shade of this particular the leaves of this particular kind of soya. And then look at this kind is more green. I don't know, let me show you. You see that this kind is more green, and then these ones are a little bit yellowish, kinda yellowish. Do you see? Like, there's a difference, there's a little bit of difference. If you were here, you could have seen, but there's a difference. There's a little bit of a difference. So I was here in the morning and I was like, damn, man, I didn't know that this farm existed. I've been focusing on the other side and I've been showing you that other side, and I didn't really do this. So we have another, see that? Yeah, we have another soya farm here, and it's flowering. In the next, I think this soya, I think these will be ready for harvest in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, because they are flowering now, and they are flowering, and after flowering they will be podding. Is that the right word? Oh my God, I really have to be careful walking here. I don't want to destroy anything. Don't want to destroy anything here. I don't know, man. Okay, but I don't know. There's something else I've noticed here. Do you see it? Now you can look at. Just look at look at what's going on behind. Don't look at me. Look at what is going on behind me. Do you see these? The color of this soil is different from the color of that other. Do you see that? Yeah, I think now you can see it very, very well. Now this is different from that other. I don't know. Is it an issue of fertilization or what? Maybe this place is more fertile than that other place, and maybe this place is less fertile than that other place right there. That might be the reason. So I was walking around, and then I also noticed that. Okay, I also noticed that we have some avocados here. Do you see that needs to be? These avocados need to be picked. They need to be picked. Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've been on this particular. It's been a very long time since I was last in this part of the farm. Okay, so I haven't been here for a very long time, and I am encountering new things. I didn't even know that there was a there was a small potato farm here. Okay, we have some potatoes here. I didn't even know that. Okay, didn't know that. There's some bananas here. I think they harvested the bananas. Yeah, they harvested the bananas. So guys, this video is going to be very political. I am just showing you a little bit of things right now so that you get comfortable before I start blastering the United States of America. Look, I don't have anything against the USA. No, I don't have anything against the people of the United States of America, the Americans themselves. I don't have anything against you. The only thing that really bothers us as Africans is your Western power structures. And we are just trying to relay a message to the Western power structures to stop interfering with the issues that are happening in Africa, okay? There are some very good things that are happening over here, and for some reason, the Western power structure, such as the big governments of the West, the government of the USA, the government of France, Canada, the government of the United Kingdom, and the other organizations such as the UN, keep interfering with what is going on in Africa. That is what we are against as Africans. We love Americans. We don't have anything against you, but your government is what is really trying to get under our nerves. Is it nerve or skin? Yeah, skin, under our skin. Yeah. So guys, I'm gonna talk about that as I show you. Don't forget to subscribe. If you just started from here, subscribe to the damn channel. It helps. Yeah, it really helps. So I also realized that I think you see these holes, this part here and this part, and then there's another part there. These parts where the ground seem disturbed. I think we've been planting some more cassavas. Yeah, I think these are more cassavas. Do you see? So this is a cassava. This is this, and I hope you still remember what I told you about this particular variety of cassava. The moment you see a pinkish twig, you realize that a cassava with a pinkish twig means that cassava is edible. That cassava is good for what? It can be consumed raw. It has several applications. You can boil it and eat. You can fry that cassava. You can even peel off the outer coverings and then dry it on the sun and then take it to some sort of a portion mill, and then you grind the cassava, and then and then you bring the flour home, and then you use the flour to make some cassava cake. Yeah. So this particular variety has many applications, and I think, you see all that disturbed ground behind me. There is a lot of disturbed ground behind me. Yeah, all of those particular places have been planted with cassava. Cassava what? Yeah, cassava sticks. So yeah, there's another small groundnut farm. I really didn't know that these things existed here. Okay, I've been focusing with that other part where I am headed, that I forgot that this part existed. And I am green about what is happening over here. Okay, so like I don't know if you know how cassava is usually being planted. You see here now, we have been harvesting here. See these some see these have been falling. Today we've been digging out cassavas here. We've been digging out cassavas here. I will show you the extent of the harvest we did today, and I am also going to show you the cassavas at home that we extracted from here, because they are being peeled off. And I hope you remember I told you that this particular variety, you see, there's a difference. This is a greenish twig, okay? That other one had a pinkish twig. So this one is strictly for corn cake. So this, you dig it out, peel off the outer covering, and then dry the cassava under the sun. After 2 or 3 days, you can take it to a posho mill. It can be grinded, and then the flour that is produced is used for cassava cake or ugali, something like that. So guys, there's a small groundnut farm here, and I think you know how they plant these things. So for instance, let me show you. So for instance, you take this stick, and then you do something like that, and then you cut it with the machete. You usually cut it with the machete, and then you cut it in pieces. You cut these sticks. It's a long stick. For instance, this one. These sticks are very long. Okay, see, these sticks are very long. I don't know if you can see that these sticks. Look at that stick. So imagine, okay, for instance, if you have such a long stick, a cassava stick, you're going to cut this stick in pieces, and then you take those pieces, maybe pieces this size, and then you start arranging them. I don't know. Okay, you dig holes, and then you arrange these sticks somewhere here, and then you cover the stick with dirt. And after maybe 1 week, the stick will start germinating. Okay, there will be some plants that will germinate from this particular stick. So that is how cassava is planted. Yeah, that's how cassava is planted. So guys, let me come back to politics. Okay, let me show you one last thing, and then I will change the topics of the conversation. So you see behind me, you look at all that disturbed ground. Do you see all those fallen sticks? And yeah, we've been digging out cassavas today, and they are at home. I will show you later, but for now, let's just keep walking. I told you guys, we are not dying in Africa. Famine is not killing everybody in Africa. Look at this tree. I just want to show you how much of abundance we have. We have a lot of food in Africa, man. There is food in abundance. Look at this tree. This is a fruit. Okay, I think I told you this is a jamun. I think a Juman. How do you pronounce that? So this is a jamun tree. Oh yeah, it's a jamun tree, and it produces jamuns. You see up there, it is purplish. There is a lot of fruits up there. I wish I could show you. And this is not the only plant. There is that other plant. Okay, there's that other tree. See that big tree over there? Yeah, that tree over there also has fruits. And then there is another tree over here. Let me just show you these things, because the West likes promoting this narrative that, oh, people are dying in Africa, famine is killing people in Africa. Let me show you something. This is another tree. Do you see this one? Yeah, up there. Okay, there are hundreds of fruits. Nobody's even eating them. Nobody, nobody even bothers to go up there. Why? Because people don't need to. Okay, so the only thing that is enjoying these fruits right now is the birds, and the birds are fed up. They don't even want to eat this fruit anymore. Okay, because there is just too much of food right now. There is just too much of food right now. Okay, like I don't even understand why people tend to say that Africa. See, yeah, we did. Yeah, today we really dug out lots of cassavas. I will be showing you that later. Okay, because I just saw Billy Gates. Do you know that Billy Gates has pledged to donate most of his $200 billion fortune to Africa to help with education and healthcare system, to help improve education and healthcare systems. Okay, so I don't even know why Bill Gates feels like he needs to do that. Okay, we can take care of ourselves. We can take care of ourselves. And let me tell you something. Okay, let me tell you something. The likes of Ibrahim Traore have showed us that it is possible to cultivate some or create an economy that is that is self-reliant. You don't need your economy. Shit, there's an animal. I think it's a squirrel. Damn, man, it's a squirrel. Squirrel it was. I think it was eating something from. I think it was eating some cassavas over there. So it saw me and just I started running, man. I wish I could have shown you that. Okay. So look, fruits, more fruits, man. This is my favorite fruit right now. Okay. Every day in the morning, I come here. Ah, these are berries. Every day in the morning, I come here and I eat these berries for at least 30 minutes. 30 minutes. This is my favorite fruit. And I told you the last time that berries are packed with iron, with the mineral iron. And iron is very good for your blood. Do you see my tank? My tank has already turned pinkish. So that is very good for your blood. Okay? So the Americans, the government of America, I should really stop using that word. The Americans. Let me start. I want to start using the word the American government. Okay? Because Americans do not have any malicious intent toward Africa and Africans over here. It is your government that is hell bent on is it suppressing or oppressing Africans. Your government is so determined on oppressing Africans. Okay, so guys, let me get out of here because if I start eating these things, I might not stop because they are so delicious. They are so delicious. Okay, they are so delicious. So guys, the likes of Ibrahim Traore, I was telling you that. Okay, this is another groundnut farm. Do you see that? Yeah, yeah. Food. Okay, food. Yeah. So I was telling you the likes of Ibrahim Traore are proving to us that it is possible to develop or sustain an economy that is self-reliant. You don't need to rely on foreign economies to fuel your economy. Because what I can't even imagine how Ibrahim Traore is doing whatever he's doing in Burkina Faso. Do you know that Ibrahim Traore assumed power in September 2022, and in less than 3 years, Ibrahim Traore has done a lot for Burkina Faso. A lot for Burkina Faso. Do you know that the first thing he did was give farmers 400 tractors, over 700 tillers, over 700 motor pumps, and over 300 motorbikes to facilitate agricultural activities in Burkina Faso. The other thing he did was he has constructed the first, yeah, I think it's the first, he has constructed the first tomato processing plant in Burkina Faso. So right now, the Burkinabe people are growing tomatoes and they don't export tomatoes out of the country for processing. They do the processing over there in Burkina Faso. Value addition is done in Burkina Faso. So when those products leave Burkina Faso, they are finished products, and that means they are selling those products at a very, very good price. Okay, at a very, very good price. And and the other thing Burkina Faso is doing, I mean, under Ibrahim Traore has decided to reject loans from the IMF, from the likes of the World Bank, because these loans, they usually come with lots of economical, with lots of economical conditions. Okay, policies from the West. Okay, we are going to give you this loan, but you should do this, you should do that. And most of the time, these conditions benefit the Americans more than they benefit Africa. And I've been saying this for a very long time. I've been beating this drum. I've been telling my friends over here that the loans that we acquire from the West or any other country are not meant to develop our countries. They are meant to fund the underdevelopment of our countries and Africa as a continent. Because there is no way, you're going to acquire a loan that will take like 150 years to pay off. So it means that for 150 years, you are indebted to a particular country. You are slaves to a particular country. So Ibrahim Traore has seen this neocolonialism the West is trying to impose on Africa right now. And the West is very, very disappointed with Ibrahim Traore, because Ibrahim Traore is challenging the West, especially the UK and America's political, security, and economical interest in Burkina Faso. The other thing, because Ibrahim Traore has chased away the French and other foreigners who were in charge of gold mines and other natural and mining activities over there. Because Ibrahim Traore has decided to take over, to fully take control of mining activities and resource management in Burkina Faso. And that is proving to be a threat or some sort of, the Western does not like that. It's giving Russia and Russian private military contractors and Turkey the responsibility, of training the Burkinabe soldiers and help secure the borders of Burkina Faso and other important sources of income and other important locations of other important things and other important leaders in Burkina Faso. So the West is not happy, because this used to be what the Americans used to do. Yeah, is it called AFRICOM, the US Africa Command? Yeah, that used to be their job. Okay, to train Africans and to collaborate with them to fight terrorism. Now, the likes of Michael Langley, are calling Burkina Faso that the Burkina Faso is the epicenter of terrorism. I don't understand how Burkina Faso is the epicenter of terrorism. Okay, it really looks sketchy and suspicious, considering the fact that he is saying that after Burkina Faso denied them access to the gold and other natural resources. Okay, like Burkina Faso is taking control of every single thing that they think belongs to them. So it doesn't make sense. It really does not make sense. So that guy is doing a lot over there, man. He's really doing a lot over there, and we are proud of him. And the one thing I've realized about this guy is not just a leader because he's doing great things. He's a very intelligent person. And that is the kind of people we need over here in Africa. People who are willing to execute, but at the same time identify problems that are affecting their countries. Because most of African countries, they don't have a leadership problem. Yes, they do, but most of African countries have a system problem. The systems that we are using over here are faulty. They are outdated, or they are non-functional at all. So yeah, I was telling you about how we need to address the issue of 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 leadership, and at the same time address the issue of replacing systems. We need to replace leaders with leaders. We need to replace existing leaders with leaders who will be able to identify problems in systems and replace those systems, just like Traore did. That is very important. That is very, very important. Yeah, so people who tend to think that Africa is underdeveloped, especially Africans who look down upon other Africans just because we live here, and they think that Africa is underdeveloped. You're actually wrong. Africa is not underdeveloped. Africa is just young, okay? Africa is young, man. So you cannot compare Western countries with African countries, because that will be it will be like comparing your physical strength with your father's physical strength. It does not make sense, okay? We still have a long way to go, and I think we will get where we need to go. We will get to our destination as long as we keep on going. Because if you look at in the 1980s, okay, if you look at history in the 1980s, the most powerful, the most powerful continent was Europe. All the innovation was being done in Europe, the 1980s. And then in the 1990s, the most powerful continent has been the Americas. In the 1990s, America has been doing all the innovation. And right now, do you know who is doing all the innovation? The likes of China, the likes of Japan, the likes of Russia. I mean, Asia is really powerful right now. People don't like hearing that, I know, but the truth is that Asia is more powerful right now. And I think in the next 20 or 30 years, the most powerful continent is going to be Africa. Is going to be Africa. As long as we keep doing what we're doing over here, as long as countries such as Burkina Faso keep on enlightening and strengthening affairs over there in the western part of Africa, and South Africa also does what is right for Africa in the southern part of Africa, and we as Kenyans do the right thing over here in East Africa, then very, very soon we will have an African that is united, an Africa that has one vision, an Africa that does not allow Western influences and Western political structures to come over here and divide and conquer us. Okay, we need to stand as Africans. We need to be united as Africans. Yeah, the likes of the UN, these all organizations are just, I told you, they are Western power structures. Okay, they are Western power structures. They are not. They are not. They are not. They are not really willing, and they are not really obligated. They are not really trying the best they can to help us as a continent. So I was saying, the only hope we have as Africans is for us as Africans to unite and formulate a vision and be determined, diligent in executing and those ideas and trying to sort and clean up our own mess. We should not be relying on some Western power structure like the UN to come over here and help us. Like, the UN does not care about us. The UN does not care about us. And do you know? Do you want to know why I say that? Just if you recall the events that happened in 1994 over there in Rwanda. Do you know that the UN had power? It had power to prevent everything that happened in Rwanda. The UN, let me tell you something before I even get there. Before Rwanda got its independence from the Belgium had done a lot of divide and conquering over there. Okay, so they left that country very, very unstable. There was a very, very deep tribal divide. That country was not united, even in, like, they just left that country and they went and they left that country divided and politically unstable. So when the Tutsis, remember the Belgians, when the Belgians were in power, they favored the Tutsis. The Tutsi tribe was their darling. They were their favorite. So they gave the Tutsis a better jobs, better political positions. Yeah, they really favor those guys. Okay, so the Hutus became very bitter. Okay, they developed a hatred towards the Tutsis, and immediately the Belgium abandoned or just fled to their country and left Belgium. The Hutus, because they were many, the population of Rwanda is usually the Hutus were 85%. And the Tutsis were 15%. So it was very, very easy for the Hutus to just, dominate the country. So the Tutsis had to leave the country. And after a few years, they decided to come back. And that is when the Hutus started plotting, eliminating, the entire tribe of the Tutsis. So the Belgians and other Western countries knew this is going to happen. And the UN even tried to, assemble a small group they call the peacekeepers. But those peacekeepers were not well equipped. They were not given orders. Like, it was just a formality. But the impact of the peacekeepers was not felt during that particular event. So the Hutus started fighting with the Tutsis. And that war, in 3 months, over 800,000 people died. Close to 1 million people died in 3 months. Okay? And the UN never did anything. So the peacemakers, I think the peacekeepers kept on calling the UN. Hey guys, listen, man, the situation is getting worse over here in Belgium. Can you please send some reinforcement and a little bit of equipment and give us orders, give us the command to engage? But the UN kept on saying no, that the peacekeepers should not interfere with what was going on in Rwanda, that they should just watch Rwandans killing each other. Like, imagine countries such as the US and UK kept on debating if what was going on in Rwanda was even a genocide. Okay, they kept saying, oh no, that's not a genocide. We cannot define that as a genocide. That is just a civil war. It was not a civil war, man. Okay, because they knew if they recognized that event as a genocide, they were obligated by the genocide convention to come and intervene to try to contain that situation. But they did not want anything to do with that. Why? Because in 1993, 18 American soldiers were killed in Somalia. Soldiers! 18 American soldiers were killed in Somalia. And then in 1994, 10 Belgium soldiers were tortured and killed in Rwanda. So just because 28 white soldiers were killed in Africa, they decided that Africans should kill themselves. Yeah, they decided they are not going to help Africa contain this situation. They just let us die, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, the self-importance and the narcissism. I mean, the self-importance and the narcissism that exists in the West is just on another level, man. Just because 28 soldiers died, the likes of, imagine, the situation was so bad that the likes of Kofi Annan, I don't know if you remember Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan was he was the Secretary General of the UN during the 90s, especially during the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. He was the Secretary General, and he said that Rwanda is his biggest regret. Why? Because they had the power. The UN could have stopped that particular event, but they kept on saying that that was not a genocide. It was not a genocide. What is a genocide, man? A genocide is the mass extermination of a particular community, a tribe, or ethnic group, and that is exactly what was going on, or what was happening in Rwanda. But just because Americans and other Western countries did not want to get themselves involved, they said it's not a genocide because they did not have anything to gain in Rwanda. If the Belgium government or the French government or American government were to intervene, what would they have gained? Okay, what would they have profited by interfering? Yeah, those guys only go to places where there is a benefit. Okay, they go to Ukraine because there are some minerals there. Yeah, they go to Sudan because there is oil in Sudan. The good thing is that Sudan right now is also distancing themselves from the West. Right now, the security providers of Sudan are Russians. Yeah, Niger are welcoming Russians, and they are giving more security contracts to Russia and other Russian private military companies. The likes of Mali are doing the same thing. Burkina Faso is doing the same thing. Okay, the only people who need to wake up is mostly East Africa, and the only people who are trying to wake themselves up is Kenya right now. That is why I'm saying Kenya is a very, very important country in the fight for the liberation of Africa. Okay, so we need to be united over here in Kenya, and other Africans need to unite. We should stop being contemptuous of Africa. We should stop saying bad things about Africa. We should start admiring our continent. Okay, and we should start looking. I mean, we should start treating our countries as though it's our own homes. Okay, let me tell you something. A country does not belong to a president. A country does not belong to a member of National Assembly or a member of a county assembly or the senators. A country belongs to the citizens, and the citizens have the responsibility of ensuring that the administration that runs their country or governs their country are doing everything in their power to develop that particular country. Okay, we should not leave the responsibility of leading and administrating our country to a few people. We should be actively engaged in the administration of our countries. That is why the democracy that we have over here in Africa is called representative democracy. It is we have leaders over there or politicians over there who represent our interests, and anytime you feel like your interests and your ideas and your opinions are not correctly or properly represented over there, you have a responsibility, an obligation to say something, to complain and say, hey, look, this is not what I meant. I want this and this and this and this and this. Because we citizens know what is best for our country. Okay? Those people in the parliament and those offices mostly don't know what is best for our country. Because they have almost everything. It's like they are living in another world. We are the ones who live in these countries. We know the problems this country is facing. Maybe there's a security problem. Maybe there's an education problem. Maybe there's a health problem. We are the ones who are actually experiencing this country, the services and the products this country has to offer in the fullest. Because those leaders, those politicians, the moment they get sick, what do they do? They fly out of this country. They go to India, they go to America, they go to Belgium, they go to France, they go to those other countries to get medication, to get medical attention from those countries. We are the only ones who cannot leave this country. When you have cancer, you have to be treated here. When you have some sickness, you have to be treated here because we lack the means to go out there. So we are the ones who understand the challenges our country is really facing. So the country belongs to us, and we should take full responsibility in making sure that our country is safe and our country is developing. So guys, let me end it. Let me end it there. I will keep on uploading these videos until I will keep on beating this drum. I'm back to my fruit. I told you I like this thing, okay? I really like this thing, okay? Yeah, this thing, like, it really helps, man. It really helps, okay? I will keep on beating this drum until the gods start to dance. Until the gods start to dance. Yeah, because we need to liberate our countries, our African countries. Yeah, there are leaders who do not deserve to be where they are right now. They're just politicians looking after themselves, you know, extorting our country's resources with a few people. So guys, allow me to eat my fruit in peace. See you next time. Okay, so maybe one last announcement. I might be making another video. I might start making 2 videos a week. One video where we get to discuss, you know, political issues and, you know, serious issues, and then one where I just get to fool around, dance a little bit, because yeah, I really don't like the American government. But I like American people and whatever they are creating over there. So I think I'll be doing that. I hope you're gonna like. Okay, so subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.